Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ocala Speedway for night 3 of the Veland Winter Nationals with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by Flow Racing. All prelims are in the books. They've scraped the wall. And the 40-lap main event is currently staging in the staging lane. James, let's go ahead and give them the starting lineup for tonight's 40-lap, $10,000 to win main event. Your pole sitter, the winner here one night ago out of Blairsville, Georgia, the Lance Landers Racing Nutrient Ag Solution Dyna-Gro seat. Number 49, it'll be Superman Jonathan Davenport on his outside. From right here in the Sunshine State out of Brandon, Florida, the 40B is Kyle Bronson.
The Brandon thing continues, doesn't it? It's Brandon Shepard, the number 1 out of New Berlin, Illinois. Brandon Overton alongside in 76 out of Evans, Georgia.
I had to give you row 2. Row 3 on the inside of the JCM Motorsports 19M out of Causeyville, Mississippi. It's going to be Spencer Hughes, and on his outside out of Chandler, Arizona, defending series champ in the Bobby and Jessica Kohler Motorsports 20RT, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Current Midwest Sheet Metal points leader, it'll be Devin Miranda, Double Down Motorsports 99 out of Dresden, Ohio. And Brian Shirley, the 3S, he is out of Chatham, Illinois.
A pair of 22s make up row number 5 on the inside. The defending O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year and the G.R. Smith-owned 22 star out of Heinemann, Pennsylvania. That's Drake Troutman, and on his outside out of Erlama, Iowa, in the other red 22, very similar look for Daniel Hilsebeck.
Row 6, it'll be Garrett Alberson. He's out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the Roberts Motorsports 15. And Dylan Picowan, the Sonic America's Drive-In number 8. He is out of Urbana, Missouri.
7th row back on the inside, and the Brett Coltman Farms Racing number 96. It's going to be Benton, Kentucky's Tanner English, and he'll be flanked by the 2-time series champ out of Watertown, New York, and the Briggs Racing number 9, T-Mac Tim McCready.
Row 8 will see a pair of drivers who both scored top 10 finishes here one night ago. It'll be Ross Robinson, the 7 out of Georgetown, Delaware, and the Magic Man, Mark Whitener. He's out of Middleburg, Florida, in 5.
Inside row 9, the 17th starting spot belongs to the 2-time and reigning Tri-State Late Model Series champion out of Renner, South Dakota. It's Snowdrift, Blair Nodorf, and on his outside, out of Decorah, Iowa, our season-opening winner at Golden Isles, it's the 16 of Tyler Bruning.
Row 10 will be a pair of Georgians. It'll be Donald McIntosh, last year's Spring and Southern Nationals champion, the 79, Dawsonville, Georgia, and Will Harrington, the Bruce Kane Racing 15K out of Hawkinsville, Georgia.
Tyler Earp raced his way into the show, James. He starts inside row 11 in that Best Performance Motorsports number 1, and on his outside in the Ratcliffe Racing 18D. Currently second in the series points is Fayetteville, North Carolina's Dalton Wilson.
It'll be Max Blair, the 111. He is out of Centerville, PA. He'll join Dalton Wilson as provisional. And on the outside, it'll be the 60 out of Lakeshore, Minnesota of Dan Ebert.
And your final 3 starters, they all went to backup cars, so they're going to start at the tail end of this field. It's the 2023 Series champ Hudson O'Neill in 71. Brendan Smith in the 17 Double S, in the 93 Lincolnton, North Carolina's Carson Ferguson. So in all, we've got 27 drivers in this one. They're going to go 40 laps with $10,000 on the line. Ben Shelton is going to be giving you all the information, the late-breaking news and happenings from the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Ben, we'll send it down to you. Who are you going to have? Well, first off, what's this racetrack look like, number 1 and number 2? Who's your pick to be standing with you in Veland Victory Lane at the end of the night?
Well, before I get to 1 and 2, we're going to go 1A, and I'm going to go to this crowd tonight. Fantastic crowd tonight at Ocala Speedway. Glad to see it. And as the week's gone on, the crowd's got better and better as we head into the weekend, and it's really cool to see the Veland Winter Nationals here. 2, they continue to work on the bottom side of that racetrack, trying to get that slime to go away. They've tilted a few times. They've rolled it in. They went out, they scraped the wall after the B mains. Other than that, they didn't do a whole lot. The cushion's going to be key down in 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, well, it's Ocala Speedway. 3 and 4 is always key. Whoever can get through that in the best is going to be who wins tonight. And I am going to go with Kyle Bronson from outside front row. 5 career wins with the series. Tonight he gets number 6 and becomes the 5th different winner this season with the Lucas Oil Series.
All right, there you have it. He goes with Kyle Bronson. Was that going to be your pick, James? I feel like you had a Kyle Bronson.
Well, it had Brandon in there. Brandon, Florida. I will go. Hey,
do you need the lineup?
It is return to Rocket 1. Brandon Shepard from 3rd to Victory Lane here tonight at Ocala.
All right. Kyle Bronson starting on the outside front row off the table. Brandon Shepard starting on the inside of row 2 off the table. You know what? I think tonight is the night we see Jonathan Davenport go back-to-back. You thought I was going to say something different, didn't you?
I did.
Jonathan Davenport's looked really good. He's had a great start to Speed Weeks. He's got that Double L Motorsports number 49 starting on the pole. I think he parks it in Veland Victory Lane at the end of 40 laps. Cars are making their way out on the racetrack, James. Once again, look at that great shot there at the back of the Lucas Oil Pace truck. The 49 and the 40 on the front row of this one. The Brandons in row 2. And how about Spencer Hughes? You left Spencer Hughes on the table, still looking for that elusive first.
I picked him at Alltech. He led 28 laps, right?
Well, we'll see. He led 28 laps in that one. 40 laps in the distance tonight. We ramp it up another 10. It's been 30 in the first 2. They were 9-points races here on Tuesday and Wednesday. Points kick back into gear tonight. This will be the 5th points race of the season. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series takes your best 5 points finishes from Speed Weeks. As they've done the last several years, they're going to reset the points after Speed Weeks based on your best 5 finishes before we head to Atomic in Brownstown on March 21st and March 22nd.
Yeah, $40,000 in first place prize money that weekend. $15K at Atomic, $25 at Brownstown. Ben, what do you think? You picked Kyle Bronson. He has not won a Lucas Oil race since that dominating performance at I-80 in 2021.
Yeah, that was $53,000 that year.
Sir.
But right now, after the way that Speed Weeks has started for that team, $10,000 would probably feel like $53,000. Would you like some Kevin Kovac notes?
Of course we would.
Among active drivers, the 2 winningest drivers in the field last night was Jonathan Davenport's 19th all-time Speed Weeks win. He is second among active drivers at Speed Weeks this year all-time. The winningest driver at Speed Weeks active this year starts right behind him, Brandon Shepard with 22 wins. If JD gets the win tonight, he would tie Jack Boggs with 20 all-time Speed Weeks wins. Quite a driver to pull up side by side with in all-time stats.
And Billy Moyer is still, he's won twice as many. Scott Bloomquist second all-time, right?
Let's get to the bottom of it. Kovac is Bloomquist
check it
second
out.
behind Moyer. That's correct.
Moyer's got like 60.
Yeah, he's like 30-some ahead of...
He's double.
So yeah, Kovac confirms Moyer is
Thank you,
double
Kevin.
all-time what Scott was able to achieve at Speed Weeks.
Tell him sorry about his Lions this year.
Hey, he
Had a
doesn't
good
wanna
year,
talk
but
about it. He doesn't.
Hey, real quick, James, you mentioned earlier, but worth noting again, Jonathan Davenport on the pole of this one. 84 career wins with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. That is second all-time behind Scott Bloomquist, who has 94 wins. Jimmy Owens with 82 career wins. He is third all-time. The next closest driver active behind them, Ricky Thornton Jr., the defending series champ. He is fifth in all-time series wins with 44. He needs 2 more wins to tie.
Don O'Neill.
Yes, very
Thank
good.
you.
Very good.
How about this? Jonathan Davenport. Last night was our 6th race of the Speed Weeks Winter Nationals. That was the first time a driver had led every lap, to show you the level of competition, DJ. First time a driver had led every lap. We'd had multiple lead changes, of course, at Alltech Saturday night, 6 lead changes among 4 drivers, so we'll see what happens tonight. Like I said here, you get into heavy traffic, DJ. I mean, this thing could be a hornet's nest here. You got Davenport, Bronson, Shepard. Wow. Turn 1 again. Who's going to? Either one of them are going to.
You took the words out of my mouth.
You know what I'm saying, man.
You took the words out of my mouth. Davenport and Bronson not going to lift. I don't think Shepard or Overton are going to lift in row number 2 as well. Rob Penrod with the furled green flag. That means we're going to go racing next time by. Kenny Canada going to make the hard left-hand turn in the Lucas Oil Pace truck. He falls to the infield. Jonathan Davenport on the pole, Kyle Bronson on the outside. 40 laps is the distance, $10,000 on the line. Green flag waves in the Nutrien Ag Solutions starting zone.
40 laps, 10K to win. That's 10 more laps than we've run all week long. Bronson, not a good start as he gets it back. He's back to third. Shepard to go to second as Davenport to grab the lead. Trying to go back-to-back here at Ocala. 4 career victories. He comes off at turn 4. He'll lead lap 1 here on a Thursday night.
Yeah, Brandon Shepard's going to tuck in line in the second spot. Then it's going to be Kyle Bronson in third. Brandon Overton fourth, and RTJ going to round out the top 5 at the end of lap number 1. Thornton Jr. now comes under fire just behind these drivers from Devin Moran. Moran actually able to slide by Ricky Thornton Jr. as we've got 1 car around over in turn number 4, and it's Drake Troutman, and that will draw the Coltman Farms Racing caution flag with unofficially 2 laps scored in this one. Leader plus 3 with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Now, it is a 40-lap main event tonight, so it's worth noting Delaware double file restarts up until 5 laps to go, 5 or less laps to go. They go single file. So tough break for Drake Troutman. He draws the Coltman Farms caution, 2 laps in the books in this 40-lap main event.
He started in 9th. So Davenport out in front, 2 laps in the books. He'll be out in front on the Delaware double file restart. Then it'll be Shepard, Bronson, Overton, Moran, Thornton, Hughes, Hilzebeck, as we have a Dave Warren Power Sports replay of what happened to the driver who came from 9th to 2nd here one night ago.
Let's see what happened here. Troutman, maybe a little contact there. He and the other red 22, Daniel Hilzebeck, coming off turn 4 pretty hot. The end result is you're defending O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year going around, and he will have to tag the tail end of the field. So Davenport out front, Brandon Shepard second. Shep's going to get his choice of inside or outside lane. This Delaware double file restart, the rest of the field will stagger accordingly. And 2 laps scored, 38 laps to go. You always know the number of laps remaining. Those of you watching at home on Flow Racing by looking at the ticker in the upper left-hand part of the screen.
By the way, the halfway mark will be the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark, $100 to that driver leading in lap 20. The too early Hoker Trucking Hard Charger Mark Widener up 3 spots in 2 laps.
Oh, there you go.
And Brian Shirley's got some issues on the 3 car. It looks like they're on the right rear quarter panel. See what he's going to do here. Yeah, right there dragging it. Will he go to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce hot pit?
Hey, real
Nope,
quick,
he's going to go back and go ahead, Ben. Dustin.
Oh, close. Yes, damage on the right rear, but you see, look at the, you can see the yellow light blinking inside the 3S of Brian Shirley's car. We've mentioned it a couple times here during the Veland Winter Nationals. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series drivers running the light Sievers this year. So they've got a switch that flips basically the moment the caution flag comes out. You can see it good there shining on Brian Shirley's white helmet. When that caution light comes on, not only are drivers told on the race Siever, the one-way radio communication, but that yellow light also comes on inside the race car to notify the drivers that a caution flag is on the racetrack. Safety vehicles in the infield for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series also equipped with the light Sievers here in 2025.
Also will measure an impact of a crash with the G-forces as well. So Davenport out in front on the Delaware double file restart. Shepard trying to make his return to Rocket 1, trying to go back to victory lane in that car. Kyle Bronson on the outside. Not a good start for Bronson, but he'll line up on the outside on this restart. So still plenty of time to make amends for that.
And you got to
He's just lost 1 spot.
Yeah, you got to think that's probably in the back of his mind as well, Kyle Bronson, that he didn't get a good start on the outside. He wants a little bit of redemption here. 1 win a year ago for Kyle Bronson. It came back in the spring at East Alabama Motor Speedway in the Spring Nationals. 2021 Silver Dollar Nationals champ follows the 49 of Jonathan Davenport to the line. Green flags out. We're back underway, and a little better start there for KB40 as he moves back into the second spot momentarily.
Down the back straightaway, Shepard third. 4th is Overton. 5th is Moran as Davenport will continue to lead. 3 in the books of 40. Down the main straightaway. Battle here. Bronson and Shepard into 1. Bronson right through the middle, looking good so far. Here comes B-Shep down the back straightaway. B-Shep, his best finish this year to Lucas Oil Series, 7th. He's done that twice here in 2025.
And you can see at the top of the screen, Bronson officially had the second spot the last time by at the scoring loop. He has it again. Jonathan Davenport out front by 9/10 of a second. 4 laps into this one, you're looking back at the battle for second. Comes Rocket 1 down to the inside. Real good race as Brandon Shepard's got a good run on KB40. Not able to nip him at the stripe, though. Brandon Overton there as well.
Best Shepard has looked all year long so far in that Rocket 1. Into turn 3. He's going to get the second spot, but only officialed at the loop line. And Bronson tries the outside, but no. Shepard will move to second. In car number 1. Kyle battles back on the outside. They're going to side by side into turn 3.
James, not going to take them long to get in lap traffic. They're still turning lap times in the low 15-second range as you look back on this 3-car battle for second. But Jonathan Davenport with a 1.5-second advantage out front is now just about 1 lap away from catching the tail end of the field. We'll keep our eyes on the My Race Pass app on the lap times to see if he's able to expand on that 2.5 lead or if he kind of backs up to those guys there on your screen running for second, third, and fourth.
You notice the intensity is picked up here tonight. They're running for points, running for 10,000 to win. Jonathan Davenport, he's the drop of the green flag. 8 laps in the books in 49. And right now, out of turn number 2, we're going to have a battle down the back straightaway. Davenport, Bronson, Shepard, heavy traffic into turn 3.
And traffic is such a factor here at Ocala Speedway. And as you can see, it's only taken them 7 laps to get there as we had that caution 2 laps into this one. And now the top 4 all right there together. Davenport, Bronson, Shepard, and Overton. 1, 2, 3, and 4 racing each other in the back of the field.
Bronson tiptoes to the outside and brings it back down. Shepard is there, trying to get around Brendan Smith. Into turn 1, out at 2. Davenport, Shepard, and Smith, who had to go to backup car, almost got into the wall. The top 3 into 3. Davenport, Bronson, Shepard. Then it's Overton, Moran, Thornton, your top 6.
Yeah, Brendan Smith is slow at the top of turns 3 and 4, James. I'm not sure he's going to be able to limp the car down to the infield, and he's not. That will draw the Coltman Farms caution flag with 12 laps in the books. And man, oh man, we needed a PSG there because that one was getting interesting as they were dicing through lap traffic. It's a tough break for Brendan Smith, who has raced his way into the show the first 2 nights. He's got trouble on the Sean Smith number 17 double S, and he's not only gone to a backup car, I'm not too certain. That may be his brother's car. It's hard to tell from here. Carson Ferguson also in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit in the Paylor Motorsports number 93. Ben, action starting to pick up down there where you are.
Yeah, Carson Ferguson getting a word with the crew down here, and they're taking a look under the right rear of that race car. All 4 Hoosier tires up. And yeah, Brendan Smith's going to bring the number 17 down. Looked like he jumped over the cushion out of 2, and then he slowed down the back straightaway. He pulls down here under speed, under his own power, but he shuts it down. And yeah, Carson Ferguson's going to make his way back out. Brendan Smith, meanwhile, no sense of urgency, pulling off the gloves. I think they're going to live to fight for another day.
And Ben, I'm not positive. That looked like Brendan's brother's car. That might even be a crate car, so he may have just been out there trying to log a few laps.
Yeah, I was wondering, but it does have the SS in the number, but it is a different looking ride than we normally see for Brendan for sure.
All right, great job, Ben. What do we got? 12 in the books, 28 to go. Davenport's led from the start. Good recovery for Bronson. Ian Shepard going back and forth there for second.
Yeah, and interesting that Bronson had his choice of inside or outside lane on this restart. He's chosen the outside lane. Remember, he slipped on the outside at the start of this race, but got second spot back away from Shepard on the last Delaware double file restart. We'll see how he does this time, James, as the Coltman Farms caution lights have been turned off.
Bronson knows his way around. He's the track record holder here at Ocala. Davenport, 12 in the books. Then it's Bronson, Shepard, Overton, Moran, Thornton, Hughes, Shirley, Alberson, McCowan, the top 10 back underway at the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone. Good clean battle there for second. Shepard and Bronson on the outside, and they go into 3. If Bronson can make that outside work, DJ, here comes Moran in 99. Shepard, is he going to go back to second? Yes, in rocket 1.
Yeah, Shep goes back to second, and Devin Moran takes 4th away from Brandon Overton. And Moran not done yet. Your current Lucas Oil late model Nerd Series points leader going to drive the Roger Sellers Lazy Days RV99 down to the inside of KV40. Going to take that 3rd spot away. He'll make it official this time by at the scoring loop. 14 laps down, 26 laps to go. Davenport, Shepard, Moran, Bronson, Overton, your top 5.
I want to see him get back into traffic again. I know JD probably doesn't, but right now we stay green down the main straightaway into 1. Davenport, it was 0.6 of a second. He cuts 1/10 of a second off of the lead. Down the back straightaway, Brandon Shepard. 3rd is Moran. 4th is Bronson. 5th runs Brandon Overton, and it's Thornton, Hughes, Alberson, Shirley, McCowan still 10th and 8th.
It's been a few years since Brandon Shepard's been to victory lane here at Ocala Speedway. It's been 24 hours for Jonathan Davenport, who's at the front of the field. Devin Moran, 2 wins, or picked up the win here earlier on. Right now in the 3rd spot, there's Ricky Thornton Jr. He's worked his way back up to the 6th position. Brandon Overton ahead of him in 5th. Closing in on the halfway point, and we've got a Coltman Farms Racing caution as Dan Ebert had slid down to the inside of the track coming off turn number 2. 17 laps scored, 23 laps to go. So Dan Ebert's going to make his way to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, come to the attention of his crew. Tough break for the one of your 2025 O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year candidates, Ben.
Yeah, they're going to pull the body panels out of the right side. I'm going to tell you, nobody is going to be light tonight. There is no danger of that. Dan Ebert's got about 300 pounds, this Ocala Speedway surface on that race car. Meanwhile, Carson Ferguson's made his way back down, and they may be switching a helmet. They're at least evaluating that down there on the 93 car, leaning in to get a word with him. That car, they are not going to switch helmets. He's going to be good with what he's got, but I tell you what, it seems like they have battled since the start of the night tonight, Carson Ferguson and that team, as they just cannot get things going their way. And I might have lied to you. I think they may have actually switched to helmet. And looking at Dan Ebert's car, that's not a surprise if they did. If you didn't have enough tear-offs on there, tonight's not the night that you're going to get by.
It's really easy to unintentionally rip an entire packet of tear-offs off there as well. James, real quick, the early Hoker Trucking Hard Charger candidate is Dalton Wilson, who's up 7 spots. He started 22nd, currently runs in 15th. This is going to be an interesting Delaware double file restart here because there's a new contender alongside the Rocket One.
Our Midwest Sheet Metal points leader, Devin Moran. By the way, Wilson comes in tonight second in the points as we remain under. Nope, caution lights extinguished. All right, at the Nutrien Solutions restart zone, Davenport is led from the start. 17 laps in the books. Shepard second, Moran third, back underway in Ocala, Florida.
Another good restart for the Rocket One on the inside. Devin Moran going to try to keep pace. They might have made a little contact there. Brandon Overton says, hang on, boys. That looks like a lot of fun. He's going to try to keep that Longhorn factor. Oh, no, trouble for McCready. Moran had slipped high as well, and we stay green and no. The Coltman Farms caution flag flies as the 9 slowed on the back straightaway, and that will be the 4th Coltman Farms caution flag of the night. Tough break for 2-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion Tim McCready in the Briggs Racing number 9.
But we did get a lap in, so 18 in the books unofficially. So Moran is now 4th.
He slipped up there.
He slipped up, and Overton is now 3rd. So on the Delaware double file restart, it'll be Shepard with the choice. Overton, Moran, Bronson is back to 5th. 6th is Thornton, 7th Hughes, 8th Alberson, 9th Shirley, 10th. Mark Whitener.
How about that?
16th to 10th. It didn't start out so good. He had a great qualifying time, but then the group infraction. Ben, down to you in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit.
Yeah, Tim McCready's down here, and Shane Winans and the gang looking under the right rear of this race car. All 4 Hoosier tires are up, but they're going to make an adjustment on the suspension of this number 9 car, and it looks like McCready might get a new right rear tire along the way as they pull about 100 pounds of dirt off of this entry. Again, very heavy racetrack here tonight as they continue to work on McCready's number 9. And yeah, Devin Moran, he wanted to see that Coleman Farms caution just a second sooner as he was not able to recover that 3rd spot. And I tell you what, he did a great job of saving that as he did everything but spin after battling with Brandon Shepard for position 2.
Absolutely, as Brandon Overton. Now, I tell you what, I know it's a worn cliche, but you take leader Jonathan Davenport out of this when you got a good battle, and in the same token, Davenport's never led by more than 1.5 seconds either. Anxious to see us string together a few green flag laps because, again, I think this could get really, really good, especially when they catch the tail end of the field.
Yeah, we need a long stretch of green flag racing, so it's Davenport out in front. Shepard's going to pick that bottom, which he has. Lights are out. McCready's back out. Still on the lead lap. The Nutrien Solutions restart zone. Davenport's been out in front the first 18 laps. 22 more laps for his 85th career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Back underway.
26 of your 27 starters still on the racetrack. Would only take the race leaders about 7 to 8 laps to catch the tail end of the field. Shepard going to grab that 2nd spot on the Delaware double file restart. Overton 3rd, Moran 4th, Bronson 5th. They all still trail Jonathan Davenport. James, next time by the Hellraiser Jacks halfway point.
$100 cash, $1,000 at the year-end banquet as they come out in turn 4. It's going to be Jonathan Davenport at the Hellraiser Jacks halfway mark. Into turn 1, Shepard right behind him in 5/10 of a second. Brandon not letting him get away. Overton, Moran, Bronson, your top 5.
And don't look now, but Dalton Wilson continues his charge through the field as well. From 22nd to 11th is the 18D as Big Perm comes into the event 2nd of the point standings. He's going to pick another one off. Move Dalton Wilson into the top 10 and a lap past halfway. He is currently the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger.
How about that? His worst finish in a Lucas Oil points race has been a 10th. Right now, he runs in that 10th spot. as they come out at 2. Shepard not letting him get away at 0.7 of a second for Davenport as they hit it at turn number 3 out of 4. If this thing stays green, they're about a straight away behind the tail end of the field, Dustin.
And Jonathan Davenport not exactly pulling away from Brandon Shepard here. He's got 0.8 of a second. For the folks watching at home, that's going to be about 4, maybe 5 car lengths at its max down the back straightaway and through turns 3 and 4. There's a look at Kyle Bronson. The 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr.'s 0-2 drivers start to close in on your 4th place car, Devin Moran. 16 laps to go, and Jonathan Davenport James about 2 laps away from catching heavy lap traffic.
Dalton Wilson up in the spot, DJ, 9th from 22nd here, and there are still, 15 laps to go. Down the back straightaway, they're going to pick it up right here this lap around. Davenport, Shepard, Overton out at turn 4. Here they are in the main straightaway, and they got 2 cars running in front of him side by side here in the back of the field.
Yeah, again, Jonathan Davenport's lead. You're going to see it shrink just a little bit. If you're JD, where do you go? Rocket 1, Brandon Shepard behind the wheel, coming into your living room and closing in on the race leader with 13 to go.
On the 93 of Carson Ferguson, Shepard tries it on the bottom. Out at turn 2 down the back straightaway. Shepard trying to lead his first laps of 2025. Into 3, Overton right on his tail. Out of 4, Davenport still leads. It's getting good at Ocala.
They are all right there. Davenport, Shepard, Overton, Bronson, Moran trying the high side. Shepard looking low on the 49. Unable to work his way around. Keep your eyes on that 99 of Devin Moran trying to tiptoe around the top down in 1 and 2. 11 laps remaining.
Kenny Yolden and Dan Ebert has problems out at turn number 2. Brings it back down. We stay green. Right there, Davenport, Shepard, Overton, Bronson. Can Davenport keep it glued on the bottom behind the 93 of Carson Ferguson?
I've seen Devin Moran a couple times step out of line and try the high side of the Speedway down in 1 and 2. Dan Ebert's there as well. Hat tip to Dan Ebert. He's yielded to the top side of the racetrack to stay out of the way. Top 3 all right there together on your screen, on both sides of your screen. 9 to go.
One mistake by the 49. He gets out of line. Down the back straightaway, Brandon Overton, Bronson into turn 3, out of the race. That is Troutman. Here comes on the inside of Overton, and Brandon Overton around Shepard. Oh, baby. They are going at it, and we still got a ways to go yet. 8 laps to go, Dustin, for the lead.
Yeah, Jonathan Davenport trying hard to work by that 93 of Carson Ferguson. And we've got trouble over in turn 2, coming off the second corner. Ricky Thornton Jr., Garrett Alberson, Dalton Wilson, Brian Shirley, and Dan Ebert have all collided to draw the Coltman Farms Racing caution flag with 8 laps to go. Another tough break for Brian Shirley, who just can't seem to shake that black cloud over him. Garrett Alberson involved, Ricky Thornton Jr. involved. Ben, down to you.
Yeah, Tim McCready out of the party. Mark Whitener straight back to the pits as well. And I have a feeling the Heartbeat Hot Sauce pit's going to pick up here in a second. Has a lot of good cars getting some sheet metal damage at the very least over in turn 2.
A lot of tight racing as they just all get bunched up there coming off the second corner. And you're exactly right, Ben. Drake Troutman, Ricky Thornton Jr., Dan Ebert, Garrett Alberson, all making their way down to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, and it's getting busy in your neck of the woods, Ben.
And guys, Brian Shirley straight back to the pits as well. His fun meter pegged out. Meanwhile, Ricky Thornton Jr., they're going to work on the left side of that race car. Garrett Alberson right behind him. Right rear quarter panel damage as right now the body shops are open for business down here. All 4 tires look to be up on Ricky Thornton Jr.'s car. They're trying to get the sheet metal away from the left rear. Meanwhile, same deal on the left rear of Garrett Alberson, but the bigger damage for Alberson on the right rear. Meanwhile, further down the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, Drake Troutman is, looks like no big rush back there. He may be out of this one. Dan Ebert comes down as well. Chris Davis with Midwest Sheet Metal is going to be busy the beginning of the week getting some sheet metal out to these teams as a lot of work continues.
Yeah, not sure what happened. They were running 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th in the running order. So all 4 of them involved in that. So Well, Dalton Wilson, he had gone from 22nd to 9th, but he'll have to go to the back.
James, worth noting as well, that last lap was a fully scored lap as, again, those drivers, they collide coming off turn number 2. Everybody had made it by. Brandon Overton was in second as he snuck by Brandon Shepard that last time by. So Overton will have his lane choice on to this Delaware double file restart. Hudson O'Neal also going to make his way to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Ben, down to you.
Yeah, Huddy's headed the wrong way down a one-way street right now in the 71 car. Looks like all 4 tires are up, but hard to see as he's going to make his way over to the crew at the far end. We'll see if we get an update on what's going on with Hudson as bodywork continues on Garrett Alberson. Drake Trotman's got his helmet off. He is done for the night.
All right, Ben, great job down there all night long. 32 laps are scored, 8 laps remaining in this one. Lap traffic is going to be a factor, and I don't know that it is now with those drivers off the racetrack. It probably would not come until the final lap of this race. Hudson O'Neal, you see, going to get a new right rear shoe on the SSI Motorsports Wheeler Metals Merrill Bonding, number 71.
Yeah, they're pulling that right rear off. I was making sure it wasn't packed with mud because it looks like it still had air in it, but something Hudson did not like there. It's been a tough night for the 71 car. They went to a backup car earlier tonight. They're going to get a new right rear. He'll make his way back out. Guys, it has been eventful down here in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit.
Nick Hardy, Tessa Sims among the folks extracting mud down there from the spoiler of Hudson O'Neal's 71. And all the while, Superman Jonathan Davenport, the 3-time series champ, started on the victory fuel pole. And James, he's led every lap of this one. I feel like I just watched this movie last night.
Yeah, and he's got a clean car because he's been out in front every lap so far here. 8 to go. It'll be Davenport, Overton, Shepard, Bronson, Moran, and then, let's see here, behind them, we're going to have a big change in the running order here. We'll see them coming off there. There is English, there is Spencer Hughes, Ross Robinson. Thank you very much. So they're off a spot. There is the 15K of Harrington and the Ada McCowan. So
Will Harrington,
some point runners right in there. Trouble there, Thornton, Alberson, and Wilson. Max Blair and Turbo trying to make their way up through there. So 8 laps to go.
Going to be interesting. Will Harrington, he started back in the 20th position. As let's see who else. Mark Whitener has worked his way up from. Well, was he involved in that accident?
I think he was because he was running 10th.
Yeah,
so
he did. He went
out.
back. He went back, man. Goodness, tough break for a lot of drivers there. I tell you, Ross Tanner English up from 13th, Ross Robinson up from 15th, Tyler Bruning up from the 18th starting spot, and we're about to go back to green flag racing. We will do Delaware double file restarts until 5 to go. Brandon Overton, he chooses the inside lane on the restart. It'll be the first time tonight we've seen the Rocket one on the outside, James.
Yeah, competitive battle there among the top 5. 8 to go at Ocala, the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone. Good restart for Overton, even better for JD. Meanwhile, Bronson goes to the bottom, and Kyle Bronson slides up to 3rd around Shepard.
Brandon Shepard falls back to 4th, and he's not done yet. Devin Moran gets a run down to the inside. Current series points leader going to take that 4th spot away, and Brandon Overton now in 2nd, trying to keep pace with the 49. James, this looks like what we saw one night ago. Trouble for one driver off corner number 4, and I believe it is Dan Ebert, and he's going to make his way down to the infield. We stay green, 6 to go.
Next time around will be 5 to go. Meanwhile, Overton not letting him get away. It was 0.4 of a second and maybe even closer this time. Overton will shoot down to the bottom. Off at turn 4. 2 of the best of the business. A pair of Georgia hot shoes with 5 to go for Jonathan Davenport and Brandon Overton.
Pair of Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series regulars in 2025 right there. That's 76. He looks like he might be a little bit better. James, this can be a tricky track to try to work around someone. Is he able to do it? He's not able to do so. 4 to go.
Davenport flirting with disaster in 4. Brings it back down. Overton all over him down the back straightaway. 3 to go coming up. And Davenport, here comes Overton trying to angle it down to the bottom. Davenport will still have it by a car length into turn number 1. They'll have 2 to go.
Overton changed his line. He changed his line down in 1 and 2, 3 laps to go. Does he have a run on the 49? As he head down the back straightaway through the dog leg into turns 3 and 4. Overton back down to the bottom, not able to capitalize. 2 laps to go at Ocala.
0.2 of a second. Overton's going to go to the top. Down the back straightaway, trying to surprise Davenport. To the outside, they go side by side into 3. Oh, baby. They are putting on a show. Davenport are throwing in there. Off of 4. Davenport to the outside is Overton. That was the Bears' performance. One to go. Final lap. Dustin, who's going to win it?
Here comes the 76 back down to the inside. He's got to run down the back straightaway. Side by side for the lead on the final lap off corner number 4. Jonathan Davenport will hang on and win a dandy at Ocala. Brandon Overton second, Kyle Bronson third, Brandon Shepard fourth, and Jonathan Davenport gets the win.
What about that one, my friend?
In a phenomenal finish at the Bubba Clem House of Power Ocala Speedway. It's got to cross the scales and pass through Tech. But at 10 minutes after 9 local time on a Thursday night, your unofficial winner for the second night in a row in that Lance Landers Double L Motorsports, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Dyna Grow Seed, ASC Warranty, Mark Martin Automotive, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas sponsored number 49 will be Superman Jonathan Davenport.
Unofficially, the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger Max Blair started 23rd, finished 11th. I thought Overton was going to have him there, didn't you?
Tried to snooker him on the high side.
Did.
He almost had it.
He
almost had it.
Who had snookered on your bingo card, right?
Ocala
He made the
Speedway.
right move, and he almost pulled it off there.
Oh, Ocala Speedway
Oh,
produces
that's good.
yet again.
That was good.
Well, you see the drivers there making their way through the Tech area, the overhang, the little shed there. You see the rest of the field making their way through. Those of you that are on your way out.
Officially, Davenport did lead all 40 laps.
Officially, yes. It got pretty hairy there at the end, though. If you're on your way out, don't forget, 6 p.m., Dirt Draft Hot Laps again tomorrow night. Those of you that have watched at home, we will have an interview with the drivers in the Big River Steel Podium after they make their way through the University of Northwestern Ohio Tech and Scale area.
So our MD3 most laps led, of course, Davenport, as we mentioned. Your Deathridge Opticians lucky 13th place finisher is Tyler Erb. Your Weir's Machine lucky 11th is Max Blair. Your Willwood Brakes lucky 7th will be Ross Robinson. How about Ross? Good job for Ross. 2 consecutive top 10 finishes for the 7th. How about Tyler Burning? Finished in 8th after starting in 18th.
Yeah, absolutely. A good run for him. Tanner English was 9th, and a hat tip to Dylan McCowan, who started 12th. He hung around right there all night long, and he's going to come home with a top 10 finish here this evening as well. As he has made weight, he has passed Tech, and Superman Jonathan Davenport will make his way back to the front straightaway, a winner for the second night in a row. The Veland Winter Nationals here at Ocala Speedway. Well, Ben Shelton, he popped a nice cold adult beverage as he climbed out of the car last night.
Maybe,
we'll see if he's going to do that again tonight. If he might have some, might have a red Solo cup down there.
Maybe a Capri Sun out here tonight. So we'll see when he gets out of the car. Steve Arfin down here from Longhorn Race Cars. Watch 2 of his chauffeurs duke it out for the win. Jonathan Davenport in car 49, his 85th career Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win, his 5th here at Ocala Speedway, and for all-time Speed Weeks, that will make him the all-time winningest driver in the Super Late Model division during the Florida-Georgia Speed Weeks here at Ocala Speedway. And he had an absolute shootout on his hands, the 3-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, as he brings the Lance and Dara Landers 49 down to victory lane, and he gets set to climb out of this race car here tonight. Second night in a row as JD begins the pursuit of title number 4, and I think it's going to be a really fun one, this Big River Steel Chase for the Championship presented by ARP in 2025 with $250,000 on the line. Pulls the steering wheel off. When he climbs out of the race car, we know that steering wheel's coming with him, and he's going to head up top to celebrate in Veland Victory Lane. $10,000 to the good race fans. How about it for Superman Jonathan Davenport? Little sippy sip down here, steering wheel in hand, and his salute to you, the race fans of Ocala Speedway. Confetti flies. He'll hop off the car. The steering wheel's going to hang out on the roof, and Jonathan Davenport goes back-to-back here at Bubba's House of Speed. JD, how about that Peach State showdown here in the Sunshine State tonight? Overton threw everything at you. How worried were you in those closing laps?
Really, he made me way more worried than I thought I should have been there. I didn't know he was coming like that at the very end. It's kind of slimy around the bottom, so he just kept chasing that down and blowing it out. The reason I didn't think we could move, but obviously I was in the front there and couldn't really tell what everybody else was doing. But once I got to lap cars, I didn't think I could pass any on the outside. But anyway, I think they finally rolled in a little bit of that slime through 1 and 2, and it was a little better through the middle, but it was kind of bumpy. So as long as your car wouldn't bounce too bad, I guess that's the reason he got that big run. But other than that, I was just blocking that last lap because I really didn't know where he was running the top. So I saw him there, so I kind of run across 4 there a little bit and left wide, and then I run kind of to the bottom and back across 2. So just trying to block.
Coming out here this racetrack, we talked about it last night. It's so tough to lead. Tonight, it was a lot heavier. And with all the cautions coming, did you want to see those or not? How did that affect your rhythm?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely needed the cautions there because, like I said, I couldn't pass the lap cars, and I was afraid to move out. I kept watching Corey there, and he kept pointing to the bottom because at any minute I knew the 93 was really holding me up, but I couldn't step out. So as long as he was pointing to the bottom, I really wasn't going to move up. But definitely needed the cautions. Rob and Bubba's, they're definitely working on the place. They're trying different things like we are with the cars. So, I'm sure it'll be different tomorrow night. They can write down their notebook and get it a little better for us. But just got to thank Nutrient Ag Solutions, ASC Warranty, Dyna-Gro. Thanks for Briggs Transport there for the after-race refreshments. Longhorn, Bill Steen, VP Fuels, Lucas Oil Products, Martin Automotive, everybody that helps us just can't do it without none of them.
You appreciate the history of the sport. Tonight was your 20th all-time Speed Weeks win. You tie 7th on the list with a guy named Jack Boggs. Starting out, when you came to dirt, to be knowing at this point you'd be getting up there with guys like Boggs. Obviously, you've done a ton at Eldora, but even down here at Speed Weeks, what does it mean when you hear that you're on the history list with guys like that?
Man, that's definitely awesome. I would have never thought I'd been on any kind of history list, no less with huge names like that. But it just shows I'm getting old, I guess. No, we've definitely had some good runs down here in Speed Weeks. I didn't always come down here. We kind of bounced around a little bit, but ever since we started following the tour, obviously we came down. But this is fun. I always like this place here too. I think this is our 4th or 5th win here, and 5th. So yeah, that's awesome. Just really enjoy a place that you got to maneuver around and drive instead of just having to have a car that's perfect. But once again, I just want to thank my guys for doing an awesome job for me. They had this thing just perfect, and hopefully I didn't tear it up too bad for them.
Jonathan Davenport with his 5th win tonight, the winningest super late model driver in the history of Speed Weeks here at Ocala Speedway. He's atop the Big River Steel podium for his 2nd straight night and the 85th time in his career. As tomorrow he'll set his sights toward 12,000. Meanwhile, coming home in position 2 on the Big River Steel podium. I know that look, but hey, man, Brandon Overton, you come home 2nd tonight. I know you've had nights where you feel like you gave it away, but, dude, you let it hang out there in those closing laps, and it felt like there was no cards left up the sleeves, right or wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was doing all I could do. I almost squeaked by him there. Just kind of got my right rear quarter panel on the wall and couldn't get bent enough to leave, but awesome race. You know what I mean? If like that, if they didn't enjoy that, they might as well quit coming because I don't think it gets any better. So definitely awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank y'all for coming out for sure. Yeah, hell, I don't even know. We're right there, man. I mean, what do you do? It's coming. We'll get us one. I feel like I got the best crew in the pits. You know what I mean? They get up every day. Their first one's unloaded. They're working. They're happy. If I screw up, they don't say nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's a joy. You know what I mean? It's real fun to do it. I just want to win one. You know what I mean? We're close. We're right there. So.
How about 2 Georgia boys battling out on the biggest stage? How cool is that for you?
It is. It's cool. I followed them many times when we were growing up racing crates, and yeah, I just still having to deal with it. Maybe his ass will retire sooner or later. So, but nah, like I said, he's a hell of a racer. We had battled with Sheppy there for a little bit and Bronson. So congratulations to them guys. Just want to thank all my sponsors. First off, Scott and Jason Riggs and the whole Riggs family. Everybody back at Longhorn, Steve Arpin, Napa. I can't tell you how many Napa people have come, whether they own a store or just shop there, come by and interact with us. Say it's so cool for us to have somebody to pull for, you know. So can't thank them. Dew Wipes, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Coltman Farms, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Garnto Southern, Big Dog Stumping Tree. I got so many of them, man. Ronnie Powell, SCM, ASD Motorsports, Harco Construction, Bilstein Shocks. I know I'm going to forget somebody. Everybody that helps us, Clements Automotive. Just as confident as I am in my crew, I am in my engine guy. Glenn does a hell of a job. Bilstein Shocks and my boys, DJ, Ryder, Tharp, Burrows, Darla back. Just want to say hey to my wife back home and my family, and just thank y'all for coming out. See you tomorrow.
Brandon Overton back on the Big River Steel podium in position number 2. We'll slide down pit road here. And third tonight on the Big River Steel podium, a brand new Longhorn race car tonight. Kyle, I know you came to win, but man, after the way the Speed Weeks have been, brand new car, third on the podium. What's the emotions like after this one?
Oh, it definitely feels good. You know, my guys been busting their butt, you know, Baker and Mark, and they ain't no quitting them, you know. I've been down on myself a little bit, down on our operation here. So, you know, we got everything we need to win. We just got to put the right pieces in the right places and go after it there. You know, I just got to thank all my great sponsors, you know, Wayne, Charlene, my wife and kids at home, and LTX, my buddy Steve, hello Steve, Michael Lloyd Hauling, Brochers Equipment, Angry Elephant Tattoos, Race Car Engineering, Clements Automotive, Bilstein, Longhorn Dynamics, VG. Everybody helps us out. Can't thank them all enough. Just looking forward to tomorrow. We got to get a couple spots better.
Kyle Bronson comes home in third, home state driver on the Big River Steel podium. DJ and James, that one literally went down to the wire.
Yes, it sure did. Well, let's see how we got to this point, James. We'll take a look at the race recap.
I got to see these last few laps on the race recap, don't you? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Davenport in control there.
We've had 3 features in a row here that really and truly have come down to the last few laps. We say it a lot, the box score will show that Jonathan Davenport led all 40. That's only going to tell a very, very small part of the story, though.
Yeah, Shepard hanging in there. Brandon ran second for a good part of the race, fell to 4th at the end, but still his best finish of the Speed Weeks in that Rocket 1. Mark Widener was good early on, did not have the results. Forced good run for Taylor English. That Coleman Farms car comes home at ninth. Here we go into traffic for the first time, and Shepard gave him a good run there.
Who all ran second?
They could pull even with him, did Overton, but could not quite clear him.
Bronson ran second, Shepard ran second, and Overton ran second. And when the checkered flag flew, Brandon Overton was right there, but couldn't quite get the job done. Superman goes back to back here at Ocala. That was your race recap. Ben Shelton, your final thoughts on another great finish here at Ocala.
3 in the books, 3 winners in my book. Ocala Speedway and the V1 Winter Nationals. It's been very entertaining so far. Jonathan Davenport wins tonight, but I just got this feeling like that 76 is going to be smiling big at the top of the Big River Steel podium before we're done here this week. Guys, 2 more days to go. Perfect weather. The crowds keep getting bigger, and I can't wait to get back to Ocala Speedway. $12,000 win tomorrow, but tonight, $10,000 goes to Jonathan Davenport.
Absolutely. Well, that's a wrap on the racing action here tonight. James, your final thoughts.
He said 3 different drivers ran in second. They did Shepard, Bronson, and then eventually Overton nearly pulled off the win here tomorrow night. Come on back tomorrow night. We'll see if we can. Oh, we got to do a 50-50.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
50-50
important.
winner. Well, not so fast, my friend.
Hey, guys, real quick, winning 50-50 tickets number. This is for the money, right? This one's going to be $660. You can claim it at the front gate. Ticket 1516911. 1516911. That you claim that at the front gate. And I got another one here. It's a
Chance to win a late model worth a $100 ticket.
all right, we have got a chance to win a late model. $100. It's worth $100 for a chance to win a late model. If you have this ticket, go to the front gate. 1516879. 1516879. Make your way to the front gate on those. As the gifts keep on giving. We may have a winner down here in V1 Victory Lane. Guys, that's a wrap from down here. Money's being given out everywhere tonight at Ocala Speedway.
All right, money here, money there, money everywhere. The person taking home the most money tonight, though, Superman Jonathan Davenport. We get to do it all again tomorrow night. Dirt Draft Hot Laps are at 6 p.m. Our Flow Racing broadcast always goes live 15 minutes prior, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. It's another solid night of racing action here at Ocala Speedway. On behalf of Ben Shelton and the Heartbeat Hot Sauce, the voice of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, James Essex. My name is Dustin Jarrett. Thank you for tuning in all night long. We'll see you right back here once again tomorrow night.